this is your session for English grammar. Okay, in this session we are going to have a look on the part of speech. This is an important topic for you all. Okay, so please pay attention very carefully. Part of speech. In this part of speech, we are going to have a look on noun, adjectives, pronoun. These all are the part of speech. That's why we have to have a look on that. Okay, verb, adverb, prepositions, conjunctions, intersections, many things. Okay. So, while explaining, please pay attention. As I told you, it is the important topic of your subject and for your class also. It's going to help you in 10th standard also. So you have to take care of that. Fine. We'll have the look on all of these topics, subtopics. First, let's move to the main topic, that is the part of speech. What is it? A part of speech. It is a term used in traditional grammar for one of the 9 main categories into which words are classified, okay, according to their functions in the sentences. Now, what does a sentence have? A sentence has a subject. And what is a subject? A subject is a noun or a pronoun. A sentence has a verb also, okay. And when there is an object, it would have adverbs also, it would have conjunctions also, it would have adjectives also, prepositions also. So these all things are the part of speech, okay. And these all are also known as word classes, okay. These are the building blocks of the grammar, because without verb, without adverbs, conjunctions, prepositions, you can't even imagine a sentence. Speak a sentence without any verb. I chair. But what did I do with the chair? Nothing is there, right? So it is very hard to express without these part of speech. And there are 9 part of speech. How many part of speech? 9. Okay. Which are these? They are nouns, pronouns, verbs, nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, prepositions, conjunctions, articles or determiners, and intersections. Okay, there are 9, and these all are the building blocks of the grammar, because without this, grammar is not possible. Some words can be considered more than one part of the speech depending on the context and the use. Now, a sentence can have 2 verbs also, a sentence can have 2 adverbs also, it can have anything depending on the context and the use of the speech, okay, use of the sentence, okay. Interjections can form complete sentence on their own. Now, what are interjections? Now, what is an interjection? Interjection is a word or expression that occurs as an utterance on its own and expresses a spontaneous feeling or reaction, okay. This is called an interjection. Interjection, if you want like sentences of wow, hooray, ouch, oops, okay, such kind of words come in interjection. So that's why it has been said that interjections can form complete sentence on their own. They do not need any support of the other part of the sentence, okay. So this is the part of the sentence. In a part of the sentence, there are nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, everything, okay. Now, moving further, we will see with the nouns. Now, about the nouns, you all have learnt in your junior classes, or you can say in your small classes, right? Learning nouns from standard first. What is a noun? Noun is the name of a person, place, animal, thing, idea, right? They can take on a myriad of roles in the sentence. That is important. Noun plays an important role in the sentence, okay, from the subject of it all to the object of an action. Means a noun in the sentence form is a subject, right? Subject, verb, object. This is the formula for a sentence. Okay, now noun plays an important role in the sentence. Why? Because it shows about the action done. Who has done the action? The action is done by the subject. Okay, they are capitalized when they are official name or something or someone. Now it is, if the noun is a proper noun, then it is capitalized, right? And like pirates, Caribbean, ship, freedom, Captain Jack Sparrow. From this, which are the common nouns? The common nouns are like ship, freedom, pirates. And what are the proper nouns? The proper nouns which are the capitalized ones, which starts with a capital letter, are the proper nouns. Okay, so this is the noun that plays an important role in the part of the speech. Moving to the pronoun. Pronoun stands in for noun in a sentence. Now where we don't use a noun, means again and again in a sentence. If I tell a sentence, or if I tell 2-3 sentences together, that Tom is my brother, Tom is 9 years old, Tom likes cricket very much. Again and again using this term Tom here irritates also. We can say like this type of words irritates again and again if it has been taken with the same, right? So for this, pronouns are being used in the place of noun. Means if I start this sentence, Tom is my brother, again if I want to continue, I won't use the term Tom here. I would use he is 9 years old, he likes to play cricket, he goes to school with me, right? So pronouns stand in for noun in a sentence. They are more generic versions of nouns that prefer only to people. Means there are many types of, you can say, pronouns that are used for people, like I, you, we, he, she, they, it, ours, them, who, which, anybody, ourself, herself, yourself, etc. It goes on. Okay, so this type of pronouns are being used for people. It is used for thing and animals. Okay, so this was about noun and pronoun. Moving further, we will see the verb and the adjective. Now after knowing about noun and pronoun, let's see about verb and adverb. These are also the part of speech, means part of a sentence. Verbs are actions. Verbs are action words. We can always say verbs are action words that tell what happens in a sentence. Okay, if we want to know what is happening in the sentence, we will see the verb in the sentence. They can also show a sentence subject's state of being. Now every time the verb does not mean the main verb. It can also be the auxiliary verb also. Okay, there are two types of verbs. One is auxiliary verb and one is main verb. Auxiliary verb is, am, are, was, were, have, had, has, goes on. Okay, and main verbs are the verbs like sing, dance, sleep, stand, drink, eat, sit, read, write, etc. Okay, so there are two types of verbs: auxiliary verb, main verb. Auxiliary verb means yes, is, am, are, was, were, has, have, had, do, does, did, goes on. And main verb: eat, stand, sing, dance, sleep, walk, sit, read, write. Okay, so verbs change from based on tense. Now in a sentence, when there is a verb, it changes. Verbs are of three forms: first form, second form, third form. Right? Verbs are of three forms. So these three forms changes as per the sentence is based. If the sentence is based on a tense of present tense, then the verb will be used in the present form. If the sentence is based on past tense, then the verb will be used of past tense. Like I eat an apple means eat. Present tense. If I want to change this sentence into past tense, I ate an apple. I will change the verb eat into second form, that is ate. Okay, and if I want to change it in past tense, then I would add I will eat an apple. Right? So the verb in the sentence is based on the tense, whether it is a past tense, present tense or future tense. Okay, and count distinction means in a plural form also and in a singular form also. While teaching you sentence, I had taught you that if the subject in the sentence is plural, the verb will be singular, and if the subject in the sentence is plural, then the verb will be singular. If the subject in the sentence is singular, verb will be plural. If the subject is plural, verb will be singular. Don't get messed up. Subject singular, verb plural, subject plural, verb singular. So this is count distinction. As per the need of the subject, you would write the verbs. Okay? Now some examples of the verbs have been given here. You are more intelligent now about reading the verbs and knowing it, but let's have a look on it. Sing, dance, believes, seemed, finish, eat, drink, be and become. Fine? Now let's move to adjectives. Adjectives describe the noun and the pronoun. What is an adjective? An adjective is the word that describes the noun and the pronoun, or you can say here the importance. Easily to be understood. They specify which one, how much, what kind and more. Now these adjective words can specify many things. Many things means they can say you the quantity also, they can tell you the quality also. Okay? Adjectives allow readers and listeners to use their senses to imagine something more clearly. If you want to specify your sentence more clearly, okay, then at that time you would use the word, you would use adjectives here. Like what a hot day. What a day is a sentence. But if you want to specify about the day, you would use the adjective hot here. What a hot day. Right? He is a boy. But what kind of a boy he is? If I want to specify that, I would say he is a lazy boy. Right? Funny. This is a book. But what type of a book is this? It is a funny book. Okay, so this type of sentences are called, this type of words are called adjectives. Okay, which specifies your imagination something more clearly, that what do you want to talk about. Okay, now what type of adjectives can be used? There are many, but here I am giving you some examples like hot, lazy, funny, unique, bright, beautiful, poor, smooth, etc., etc. Going on. Okay. Further we will see the adverb and the prepositions. Thinking why I am sitting silent? I am sitting silent because of that adverb. We have learned the verb. Now the adverb. Now what is the adverb? The adverb is the word that describes the verb. Adverb is the word that describes the verb. Okay, adjectives and even other adverbs. They specify when, where, how and why something happened. Okay, when something is happening in the sentence, to add, we will add an adverb there. And to what extent or how often it is being done. Means softly. She sings. She sings. Now how does she sing? Sings is the verb here. But if I want to express how does she sing? Then I would add the verb softly. She sings softly. She sings sweetly. Okay, means I am adding more to the verb. That's why it is an adverb. Lazily. Often. He comes to our house. But when does he come to your house? He comes to our house often. Only. Hopefully. And sweetly. Sometimes. Right? I go to the library. But when do you go to the library? I go to the library sometimes. Okay? Next is prepositions. So what are the prepositions? Prepositions show special temporal and role relation between a noun and a pronoun. If we want to show the relation between two words, like noun or a pronoun, and the other words in the sentence, then we will use prepositions here. They come to the start of the prepositional phrase which contains a preposition and its object. Okay? So, preposition is an important part of the grammar English language, right? I also told you that it is used to show the relation between the noun and the pronoun in a sentence. Okay? The preposition must always be followed by a noun and a pronoun in a sentence. It can never be followed by a verb. A pronoun will not be followed by a verb. It will be followed by a noun or a pronoun. There are many prepositions. Okay. Now the examples of these are: he sat on the chair. Here the preposition is on, and we have not used the verb sat after non. We have used the noun here, chair. He sat on the chair. Okay. There is some milk in the fridge. In fridge. In refrigerator. So in is a preposition here, but it is followed by a noun. Okay. So for preposition, you have to understand that a preposition will never be followed by an verb. It will always be followed by a noun or a pronoun. Now some examples of these are up, over, against, by, for, into, close to, out of, apart from. Okay? So this was adjective and adverb. Now moving to conjunctions and interjections. I hope you are understanding the part of speech. It's not that hard. Whatever we are learning you all have learned in your small classes, in your younger classes. Okay, but just only to take a brief of, you can say, okay, to revise it. You should know that what is a part of speech, because in your exams it would be asked you to pick out this part of speech. It would not tell you to pick out the noun to the pronoun or anything like that. Okay, underline the part of speech, it would say like that. If you would not know what is a part of speech, how would you underline it? Okay, so this is the one. Now we are moving to conjunctions and interjections. Knowing about the conjunctions, what are conjunctions? Conjunctions are the word that connect or link the phrases, sentences, clauses or words together. Okay? Okay, what are conjunctions? Conjunctions are the word that connect phrases, sentences, clauses or two words together. Like and, but, or, yet, for, nor, so, going on. Moves on. There are many conjunctions. Okay? Conjunctions are used to join the words, phrases, clause in a sentence. You can say there are coordinating, subordinating and correlative conjunctions. like and, but, so, or, yet. These all are conjunctions. They are correlative also and they are subordinating also. Okay. Now what are correlative and coordinating subordinating conjunctions? Let's have a look on that too. Now first to the coordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions are one word connectors that sit between the two words, clauses, phrases that are connecting. Okay, there are 7 coordinating conjunctions that are and, but, or, nor, for, so and yet. Okay, these are coordinating conjunctions and these conjunctions join equal parts. These conjunctions join equal part. How? Okay, like bread and butter, and the word is used and. Okay, so coordinating conjunctions are one word connectors. Okay, these conjunctions join equal part. Now moving to correlative. Correlative conjunctions are the words that join forces with other words to make connections. Okay, now here the word is used nor. Mom's keys were neither on the table nor under the sofa. Okay, other form of correlative conjunction is both. How would you use it? Mac's new coat was both warm and stylish. So here it can say correlative conjunctions are words that join forces with two words to make conjunctions. So coordinating conjunctions, correlative conjunctions also join equal parts. Okay, so they become in pair, such as both, and, either, or, neither, nor. These are also conjunctions, but they come in pair. Okay, subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions are used when one clause is independent and one clause is dependent. This means that there is one complete thought and one incomplete thought. At that time you will use subordinate clause. Like since. Since is a subordinate conjunction. Sorry, not clause, subordinate clause. Conjunction, sorry. Okay, like since she lost her keys, mom had to borrow dad's key. Since she lost her key is a incomplete sentence, so you can say it is a dependent clause. Dependent clause has to depend on the other part of the sentence, that is, mom had to borrow dad's key. This is a complete sentence. This is a complete clause, you can say. Okay, so this part of the sentence is a complete part. So subordinate conjunctions are used when one clause is independent and the other clause is dependent. Okay, it means when one thought is complete and the other thought is incomplete. So the incomplete thought starts with a subordinate conjunction. Like since she lost her keys. It's an incomplete clause. You can say independent clause. Sorry, dependent clause. Incomplete thought. Okay, so dependent clause will always start with a subordinate conjunction. Okay, so these were the conjunctions: subordinating, coordinating and correlative. Now moving to interjection. Interjection are expressions that can stand on their own, as I told you. Oh, ah, alas, okay, ouch, oops, ah, such kind of. Okay. These words and phrases often carry strong emotions and convey reactions. Interjection words are being used when there is some sudden or strong emotions, you can say. Okay, you are sad also, your emotions are different. You are happy also, your emotions are different. You are upset also, your emotions are different. You are depressed also, your emotions are different. right? So at that time, the words which you are going to use are interjections, and interjections stand alone at itself. Interjection is complete sentence by its own. Okay? Moving to the articles and determiners. Articles, my favorite. Let's move to that. Articles and determiners. Articles, we all know. What are articles? Articles are a and the. A and an. They are indefinite articles. And the is a definite article. Article and determiners functions like adjectives by modifying nouns. But they are different than adjectives in that they are necessary for a sentence to have proper syntax. Articles and determiners specify and identify nouns, and they are indefinite and definite articles. Articles like a and the, determiners like these, that, those, enough, much, few, which, what. Now talking about articles and determiners, first let's understand the articles. Okay, articles are three: a and the, from which a and an are indefinite and the is indefinite article. The use of a and an with singular countable nouns. A and an can be used with singular countable nouns. Like, I had an orange and a banana. Okay, please come back within an hour. Next, we can use a and an to say what kind of a person or a thing somebody something is. Like, my uncle is an engineer, or I have a pen drive, such kind of. We can use a and an when we talk about something singular countable for the first time, right? If I am talking about a stranger, then I'll use a stranger helped me some days ago. Okay? Or if I am talking about some unusual situation which happened only once, or if it happened for the first time, then I will use it seems that you are in an unusual situation. Okay? Again, we use a with the words beginning with a consonant and an beginning with a vowel sound, not a vowel. Okay? Like a cat, a desk, a pen, such kind of. A chair, a table, a book, starting with consonant. Now if I talk about vowels, then I would go with the sound of the vowels. Okay? Umbrella, important, organ, easy. Then hour. Here the hour word is starting with H, but the sound of this word is a vowel sound, so I have used and here. Okay, so we would use a with the words beginning with consonant sound and an beginning with vowel sound. Now moving to the, that is a definite article. The, we use the when there is only one. Something is one, like in the whole universe or in the whole world there is one. Earth, Everest, right? We use the when something is mentioned for the second time. Means if you are talking about something in a sentence, you have spoke for first and then you would use it for the second time. Like, I met a man. Now I am talking about a man, but if I have spoken for him for the first time, so I used a. Now I want to talk about him further also, then I would use the man. Now he became a particular man for me. Okay, I met a man. The man looked like a foreigner. Okay, or if you can say, like if I say I had an orange and a banana. Now here I am talking about two fruits. I have spoken about orange also. I have spoken about banana also, right? But if again I want to speak about the same in the same sentence continuing, then I won't use a or an. I would use the orange and the banana. Okay, same thing when we use the when we are talking about one particular. If something is one particular, though it has been used in a singular countable form, but if I am using it in a particular form, I would use the water they supplied, the book I lent you. Okay, this way. We use the when it is clear in the situation. Okay, means if I was supposed to visit a doctor, then did you visit the doctor today? means I was specific. It was known that which doctor I was supposed to visit. Okay, we also use the with superlatives, like who's the best student in your class. Okay, the bridge over the Kankai river is the longest in Nepal, such kind of. Okay, and if I want to take the name of any you can say nationality or country, not the before the name of the country, I'm not going to use any kind of article. Just pay attention on that. No articles will be used for the proper nouns, whether it is a name of a city, it is a name of a country, it is a name of a person. You won't use any articles. No the Radha, the Krishna, the India, the London, no, not at all. No articles should be used with the proper nouns. Okay, you can use the articles with the name of the rivers, with the name of the sea, with the name of the mountains, newspapers, everything. Okay, so this was about the articles. Now let's see about the determiners. determiners, determiners. Okay, now what are determiners? Determiners means this, that, these, those. Okay, this, that, these, those. These are the determiners. Okay, determiner is a word used before a noun to indicate which things or people are we talking about. Okay, like a, the, my, this, some, many, these are also called as determiners. He is a boy. Here a is a determiner. The boy met. The boy you met is my friend. My, here is a determiner. This novel is very interesting. This is a determiner. Because determiner are of many kinds. There are possessive determiners, there are ordinals, there are cardinals, many things. Okay. If I say the kinds of determiners means if predeterminers. If we talk about predeterminers, then they are all of, half, half of, both, double, twice, quite, rather, such, what, etc. How would it be if we make a table of it? Let us make a table so that it would be easy for you to understand how should you mention it and what are the determiners. Okay. Now here is a table. You have to make this table in your notebook. Okay. Predeterminers means these are all the determiners, you can say, kinds of determiners. You can give the name kinds of determiners. Okay. Predeterminers, articles, demonstrative, possessive, ordinals, cardinals, quantifiers, distributive and interrogatives. Fine. So please make this table, learn it by heart, so whenever there is an exercise asked to you, it would be easy for you to fill in the blanks, or you can underline whatever the exercise asks you. Okay. So please note down this. And let's see how to determine the part of speech. How would you determine the part of speech? And then we will see some kind of exercises. How to determine the part of speech? Only interjection, hooray, have a habit of standing alone. Every other part of speech must be contained with a sentence like, alas, his father died. Right? Alas does not stand alone. Interjections always do not stand on their alone. Okay. Hooray, yes, it stands alone. Interjection hooray, it stands alone. Okay. And other part of the speech must be contained within a sentence for other interjections. Okay. Some are even required in sentence of verbs and nouns. Other part of speech come in many varieties and may appear just about anywhere in a sentence. To know for sure what part of speech a word falls into, look not only at the word itself but also its meaning, position and use in the sentence. Now how would you identify, you can say, a part of speech in a sentence if it is being asked? Okay. First, you have to understand its meaning. Go very slowly, but not that slowly that the examination time gets over. Okay? Just read the sentence, try to understand. Okay? Look not only at the word, but also to its meaning. Identify the part of speech. If such kind of question is there, then you have to identify whether it is an adjective, whether it is an adverb, determiner, what type of determiner, article, what is it. So for knowing that, you should not only look at the word, but you should also look at the meaning, position and use in the sentence. For example, in the first sentence below, now the sentences which have been given below, verb functions as a noun. In the second sentence, a verb, and in the third sentence, an adjective. Now, below there are three sentences. Bosco showed up for work 2 hours later. Now, work, if I say work, you would say it is a verb, W-O-R-K, work. Work is a verb, you would say work, worked, worked. I worked for 4 hours. In this sentence, I worked for 4 hours. It is the work here is a verb. But in this sentence, Bosco showed up for work is a noun. The noun work is the thing Bosco shows up for. Okay, next. He will have to work until midnight. Now here the word work is a verb. Because the verb work is the action he must perform. And same the work, his work permit expires next month. The attribute noun converted into adjective, you can say work modifies the noun permit. Means here it is giving you the example. How would you understand the meaning, position or the use in the sentence? One word can be in many of the forms in a sentence. Different sentences, but it can be in many forms. Like the word work here. It is in the form of a noun also. It is in a form of a verb also. It is in a form of an adjective also. So, whenever you want to determine a part of speech in a sentence, you first have to identify the meaning, understand the meaning, position and the use in the sentence. Work is always not a verb only, V-E-R-B, verb only. It can be a noun also as per the use of the sentence. Okay, let's move to the exercise, please. Decide which part of the speech are the underlined words. Same exercise as I told you. Okay, you have to believe in yourself if you ever expect to be successful at something. Which part of the speech is this? I'll only do 2 for you. The rest you have to do it. It is a pronoun. This part of the speech which has been underlined, it is a pronoun. We left for the mountain just before 6 in the morning. Underlined part of speech here is left. So left is what here? Verb. So this part of speech here underlined, which is been underlined, it is a verb here. Rest you have to do it. We first went to the store to buy some few things. We had a breakfast. A is not underlined, breakfast is underlined, but here breakfast is what? You have to tell me that. Okay. My friend wasn't strong enough to lift his heavy rucksack. I helped him after it. The weather was very cold. My mother said, oh, what a cold weather. Oh, interjection. Right? Here, oh, interjection cannot stand alone. So here we have used other part of sentence also. We didn't spend the night there, determiner. Okay. Possessive, showing place, you can say. We got back home late at night, but we didn't go to sleep immediately. We were very hungry. Moving to exercise number 2. Fill in the blanks with the suitable conjunctions. Conjunctions to be filled. What are conjunctions? Like, and, but, so, or, yet, with. Okay, we have to fill such kind of. I need to work hard, dash, I can pass the exam. I need to work hard, dash, I can pass the exam. I need to work hard so that. Here the conjunction will be so that. Okay, next sentence. Dash, he was the best candidate. He didn't win the elections. Dash, he was the best candidate. He didn't win the elections. What will be there? It would be though. T-H-O-U-G-H. Though he was a best candidate, he didn't win the elections. Okay, so this way you are going to fill other conjunctions also. But, and, so, yet, though, since, such kind of conjunctions will come. Just read the sentence. I don't know dash I can buy a new pair of jeans. I don't know whether I can buy a new pair of jeans. Keep quiet or go out. Number 10. Fine. Next exercise. Again it is the same. Fill in the blanks with suitable conjunctions. This is a small dash interesting story. This is a small but interesting story. Manu and Anu help each other. Okay, when I was a child, I lived in Dubai. Make hay till the sun shines. Rest is to be done by you. For this, I'll give you a worksheet also, which is going to help you further for your examinations also and for your higher classes also. Okay, this was a short exercise only to make you understand how are you going to identify or how are you going to fill the part of the speech. For this, wait for the worksheet, but till then, please study well and pay attention on the part of the speech. I hope you have understood whatever I have taught you. Okay, thanks for attending the class. Hope to meet you all soon. Take care of yourself. Bye.